So I think I might join a fantasy football league, knowing little to nothing about football.
Okay.
Oh, join
That's
Graces.
how you win.
Join Graces, for real. I don't want to do it this year.
Now my workplace is having one, and they want me to join.
Okay, fine.
And I said I want whoever's like the lowest ranking person of the season has. We sell non-alcoholic liquors and non-alcoholic beers.
Yeah.
So you have to either drink an entire bottle of like liquor,
gross.
or you have to drink a case of
Oh, God.
A case?
of NA beers. The NA beers actually slap. They're pretty good.
I mean, drinking a
In
case
one
of just
sitting?
Think of
Yeah.
all those
In one
suds.
sitting.
Yeah,
God.
seriously, you'd be puking your guts up,
And burping and puking and
farting.
No buzz.
yeah,
No buzz. Yeah,
buzz.
you're not even drunk.
You're just like if I had to do it, I'd like, okay, well, I'll do the NA beers. Dude, the NA liquors, I don't know if you've ever had them.
I did.
They're not great.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're not cheap either.
No,
I know.
You would think it would just
Like
be
if it
like
was
$10.
$5 for a bottle of fake whiskey, I'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
how good can it be?
I
That's
literally
me.
dropped like $45 several times. Like my year off of drinking, I was like, well, maybe I can enjoy a cocktail. Massive air quotes here.
Mocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Tastes-
I tried the whiskey, tried the gin, tried the tequila. They didn't do a vodka because that would be stupid.
Yeah.
Just
I
another
think it's
one
just
tried.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically it is. Just water with like
Tastes
maybe
like
cayenne in
communism.
it. Yeah. But they all
Just like the bean curd.
Just like the bean curd.
Dude, they all fucking sucked so much.
Right.
And every single time I was like, why did I waste $45 on this bullshit? And I was like,
Right.
well, maybe the gin will be good. Just like a fucking idiot.
No, that's why they call them mocktails, because they're mocking you with their fucking
Right.
disgusting taste.
We made you pay $14.
How's being healthy taste, fuckface?
I can't go out and have it.
I'm mentally well.
I can be the designated driver.
So I sell them at work, right? And I literally tell people like it's just better just to get some juice. And like sometimes like what do you mean? It's like I think this shit is made out of poison. The way it tastes, I think it's just like alcohol is literally better for you than
Yeah.
drinking whatever the hell this is.
And alcohol is just poison.
I mean, during that, in all seriousness, during that time period, I got really good at making like juice cocktails, right?
Yeah.
It was just adding like 6 different juices and a little bit of soda water.
Oh, dude, cranberry,
people would
lime
lose their
juice,
fucking
and soda
minds.
water.
Yeah.
Lit.
Slaps.
Yeah. There was like some regulars, you know, this one, when she was pregnant, she literally, according to other people, she'd come into the bar with her husband. And then if I wasn't there, I'd be like, can we go somewhere else?
Yeah.
Because nobody else knows how to make a
God,
mocktail
dude.
like Grant.
I used to have this one fucking server that would always just do like 15 different fucking mocktails in like it'd be like something minty, something fresh, something juicy. And I'm like, hey, I have the mocktail. If they want a mocktail, they're gonna get the mocktail.
Blowing out the levels.
Because-
Getting mad about my.
I know.
Oh, because it's infuriating. It's
Oh, it
fucking
is.
infuriating.
But I'm just saying, you don't need to think about it. You don't need to like procure anything. Just throw some juices together, talk to them for 10 seconds, and be like, I think they'll like this, and just bop, 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 here. You know, it's easy.
I mean-
Because juice is delicious.
I mean,
Yeah.
if
Make it bubbly.
if
and it's
I'm the one
better.
making it, sure. But when I'm on the well and I'm 3 deep in front of me and I got tickets coming out my fucking yin yang, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, huh, I wonder what I can put into this to make it a little bit more minty.
Fair.
You know?
Yeah.
Just crumple some mint in there and be like, good, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
That's
Seriously.
actually a good point. You work downtown. I'm talking about like a small fucking
Yeah.
lounge cocktail bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With regulars that I know and like. You hated everybody.
That's why I got out. Well, that's not why I got out, but
It didn't help.
it did help. I
It was a
kinda-
catalyst for you to leave.
It was a catalyst. Yeah, you're right.
sure.
Speaking of catalyst, welcome to another episode of Murder Schmurder.
Murder, schmurder.
It was a perfect segue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joseph, if you can, just go funny joke. I don't know why, but that really gets me.
I like doing it, man.
It's because he puts his hands like
It's because I got my hands right up on my rib cage.
Right.
Like I'm pulling up my pants.
Like pulling up your pants if you were in
If I was
Love
like
Lucy.
80 years old.
right,
In I
right.
Love Lucy. Yeah.
Actually, when you
Yeah.
say funny joke, it reminds me of like if I was Frankenstein and you were my monster.
So if I was like your hype man,
yeah. Like
it's your stitched together
monster,
hype
laugh
man.
at my joke. Funny joke.
That's really good. That's exactly what it feels like. Yeah. Oh, good one. Maybe I should swap the brain on this one.
I think my monster has Down syndrome.
I was just gonna say, in this room, our Frankenstein's monster would just be there to laugh at our jokes.
Oh yeah,
That's the only reason we put that much energy into reanimating a human being.
I would wrench an abomination of souls from the ether and force them to laugh at my jokes. That's basically what having a kid is.
I mean, I feel like it would quite literally be the Frankenstein from what was the Frankenstein movie with
the Mel Brooks one?
Mel Brooks, yeah. Young Frankenstein. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you, in-house producer.
I don't know
In-house
why,
fact checker.
but literally just him going, "Put on the wreath." That would be our hype man.
I don't know how we do it, but I feel as though he would be able to eat anything. Like he'd wake up like, stop eating the drywall.
Yeah, we definitely work in that. Like we gave him a goat's belly at some point. Like if I'm thinking sitcom rules,
Yeah.
you know, at some point it'd be introduced that he has a goat's belly, and then he'd just be like eating a glass or something. And he'd be like, what are you doing about nothing?
You're not eating glass, are you?
No. Tinkle, 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 just on the glass shards.
Like terrible through line joke that's something along the lines of like, "You'll eat anything."
Yeah, yeah.
Cue
Monster,
canned
your
laughter.
mouth is bleeding. No.
Oh, you'll eat anything. Cue canned laughter.
I go on a date with like on a blind date or something, and you see me at the restaurant. I'm just like, I like this date, and you're just, you guys are just like, I guess he will eat anything. Wink. Cut to that's commercial. I'm the DD.
Yeah, we get the monster to drive us around.
Non-alcoholic mocktails? Can I have something minty? You just like dunk the glass in like the fucking like mop bucket, and I'm just like, thank you.
He's drinking sanitizer.
Our in-house slave is basically just our hype man, laughing guy / DD. I like that.
Yeah, it's perfect. Actually.
You got it.
All right, for today's opening bit.
It's not just challenged Frankenstein's monster. We got more for you, folks. I'm Joseph, by the way.
This is
Your
Jamie.
resident monster.
This is Austin.
This is Jamie.
And I'm Grant. And for today's opening bit, I decided to take a page out of Joey's book from a few episodes ago.
Hell yeah, because I can
For-
totally read.
Just terrible things to put in your mouth. And I came at the gas station the other day.
And it's not what you think.
I came back to that same gas station. It's kind of out of my way. But I saw it and I was like, what the fuck? And I laughed to myself loud enough to where a guy also looking in the soda section kind of looked at me and I was like, oh yeah, sorry. And I referenced it, like I pointed at it and he was like, holy shit. That's like just 2000s nostalgia coming rushing back to me.
Ooh,
And I was like,
2000s.
that's just looks terrible. And he was like, yeah, but I mean, come on. Like, you remember when you did that shit on the playground and
Yeah,
everything? And I was
yeah.
like, oh, yeah, actually. So I drove back over. It was in Mount Juliet. I drove
You drove to Mount Juliet for this?
It was like a 30-minute drive just for a Sour Heads
Oh.
Sour Heads
green
soda.
apple soda.
Look how like that can is
It looks-
vibrantly green.
It looks diabolical.
It does.
Is what it looks like.
It's like experimental lab green.
So before we try it, I do want to ask the room, did you guys ever do the Sour Heads challenge?
Oh, for sure.
When you were in grade school playground.
What is the sound? Is it just put in your mouth as much?
You put as many in your mouth
As-
and you
Oh.
don't make a face.
Yeah.
Whoever
yeah.
makes a face loses, and you just keep adding Sour Heads.
until the last man standing.
Yeah.
Or
And
person.
I
Last
often
person.
was
Right.
the last person standing.
Yeah.
I was really good at
Or you
handling
start
sour.
choking on the foam that's in your mouth.
Yeah.
Right,
or
there's
they
that
start to
too.
dissolve and then it starts to eats away at your esophagus a little bit
Yeah.
and you're like, I gotta break. I gotta break.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, the first kid that has to go to the nurse, the game's over.
Right.
Yeah. This was like the one chip challenge of our youth.
Yeah. There's
Yeah, it really was. Because I remember like I would get mouth sores doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
There's 30-year-olds that have to talk with those things pressed up against their throats because of this.
I'm in a litigation case with warheads.
Putting on the Reds.
How you doing, sweetheart?
Jamie, you are analyzing the fuck out of that can.
I'm
Yeah,
wondering if-
hogging that
dude,
soda
yeah.
over there, dude.
So I'm wondering if it has like any like do not drink in case of blank. Like I was expecting for it to be like
If
do
you're
not drink
pregnant,
it
don't
pregnant.
drink this.
Yeah.
Seriously, don't. It says seriously.
Yeah,
on the
that's
can.
what I was thinking. But there's no warnings. It just says 0% juice.
Look,
It just
could-
says trust us.
Trust us.
You said 0% juice?
0%
There's
juice.
no juice in that.
And then the ingredients
surprised.
is
I know.
surprisingly like minimal. It's just carbonated water, sugar, malic acid, natural flavor, preservatives, yellow 5 and blue 1, and
And
that's
a
it.
cup of bullshit.
Well, hold on. There's
Really?
yellow 5 in that.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dog.
Hell yeah! Don't worry, it's
Makes your
only
pee-pee
the
smaller.
red. That's proven.
Yeah.
Mine can only get so much smaller. You know?
The red is the proven carcinogen that's still legal in the United States and
Yeah.
legal pretty much everywhere else.
It's like one of those philosophical quandaries. How small can it really get?
Yellow 5 ain't doing nothing.
But we'll see how actually sour this bullshit is. I mean, if it's even close to the little hard candies that we had when we were children.
Whoa.
God, look at that
Look
color.
at that. That's like Nickelodeon slime green.
Dude,
Yes.
it's like
That is-
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle slime green.
Yeah.
It's like you fell into that. You're going to turn to the Joker green.
Speaking of which, I did actually think the other day of which Ninja Turtles all of us were. So if we want to play around with that while we're drinking this ooze.
I already know who I am. Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, in this group you are.
Yeah.
That makes
I think
Yeah,
I'm the
you're
smart one.
Donatello.
I think
for
you're
You're certainly Donatello.
Yeah.
See, in other groups, I'm Michelangelo.
Huh.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
idiots.
Does that make me my Raph?
I think you're Raphael, yeah.
Yeah,
And you would
Oh,
have
for
I do get
sure.
hot.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you would be
Angry.
Leonardo for sure.
Don't look at him when you say it like that. Listeners, I wish you could have seen the face Jamie made.
Cheers, fellers.
Cheers.
Are we doing this or a shot? We doing the
No,
whole thing?
I'm sipping.
I'm gonna
not.
this is a
I think
sipper.
savor. I think
Savor.
savor.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a sip and savor. Like it's a fine wine.
If I remember correctly, this bit is called Sucks or Fucks. So
Sucks or fucks, yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's kind of like an apple soda, just a regular
Just like an apple
soda.
Not sour.
Damn it! I was hoping this would be so much more sour.
I know it's got a very, very, very faint sour.
But
This is actually kind of good.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I say
I-
it fucks.
when I chugged it,
Yeah, this
it got a
fucks.
little sour on there.
yeah.
But
When you chugged it,
yeah.
I say it fucks. You give that to me after like a workout or a
Yeah.
post run.
yeah,
Lit.
this would be a great like pre-workout
This
flavor.
actually is my
Yeah, it would be a good
pre-workout-
pre-workout flavor.
This is actually my pre-workout flour.
Flour.
Jesus Christ.
You go
Pre-workout.
pluck a flower before you work out, and you're
Yeah.
like, "I'll make you proud."
Right.
Flower.
I also
this
got
tastes
some
exactly
pre-workout
like my
flour.
pre-workout right now.
Yeah, pre-workout flowers when I hit my blunt in the fucking parking lot, and I'm like, "Let's go
Well,
do this."
I'm annoyed. I was really hoping for like insanely sour.
I gotta be honest, that fucks.
But yeah, we got
it
two
does
fucks
fuck.
in a row.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't the
Right.
cookie fuck?
The cookie did fuck.
The cookie
cookie
apparently fucked. I was very surprised. This is the problem with this segment is you think everyone's going to be like, "This is disgusting," and then it's like, "It's actually not bad for a chemically structured designed food product."
I will say this. I would have two of these to the one cookie I had.
Yeah.
I would drink
Yeah.
2 cans of this before eating a sleeve of those.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, you can't eat a
100%.
sleeve of those.
No, you couldn't.
No.
I said I could eat like 2 or 3. The
Yeah.
only reason I'm eating multiple is because like it has like a bad aftertaste.
So you got to keep
You
tricking
got to keep
yourself.
eating it. It's,
yeah.
it's,
Well, you left the case or the
I abandoned that
the
at your house.
container of that. They did get all eaten.
Yeah.
But it was only after I smoked or had some gummies or something.
Yeah.
I would go in the kitchen and be like, I want something sweet. I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And I'd like put it up on like a oddly high shelf, and I'd pull it down and be like, yeah, fuck it. And I'd have like one, and I'm like, that's still kind of gross, but I want 2 more.
How were those gummies, by the way?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What others?
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, that's an off screen.
Edit point here. I got you, dog.
There's a little left. Anybody wants it?
I don't know.
The
It's
way you
not-
said, good, Mason's like, well, I bust out in hives every time I eat them, but the
Yeah.
high is great.
Once I was done with my panic attacks, I had a nice mellow afternoon.
I woke up in Canada with a second marriage, so it was good.
Nice.
Sick. Yeah.
Nice. That was a downer that did that. Don't ever touch amphetamines, bro.
Yeah, that's what everybody's always said.
Yeah, dude, seriously. I woke up in a forklift one time.
I know you well enough to not know if that's a joke.
I'll never tell. For legal reasons, I'll never tell.
Who's leading today's episode?
Oh, that's a me.
That's a grand.
Nice. We have a grand episode today?
Oh, man.
Is this a music?
Yes, sir.
related?
Hey, let's
Ooh.
stick with the music theme for a little while.
Ooh, I like it.
I was
Right.
gonna say the Jerry Lewis episode slapped. So
It was fun.
Jerry Lee Lewis was a fun one.
and
I-
Austin, that like cued something in Austin to where he was.
yeah,
maybe
you were
the
on the
funniest
ball,
he's
dude.
been.
let's see
Yeah.
what happens today.
He didn't. That was not practiced, for the record. That was just Austin being Austin.
Yeah.
That's me, everybody.
All right, now it's kind of sitting in my tummy weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't,
Well, fuck you.
I don't
brought it
know
up,
if I
yeah.
have to burp or shit. It's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the fact that I just got done wolfing some General Tso's fried bean curd, I feel like halfway through I'm going to be liquefied.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh is right.
General So bean curds, what they serve you in the back of was it Snowpiercer?
Admit it. You liked it. You liked it a little bit.
I liked it at first. If I needed like
If
I
you needed
in
sustenance.
in a survival
If I
situation,
was starving to
I'd
death,
be-
I guess I could eat it.
or if I was a dirty little peasant in the back of Snowpiercer and they served that to me, I'd be like, I think I'll stay.
This isn't that bad.
Austin's caught in a snowstorm on Mount Everest. What do we have left in the rations? All we've got is this General Tso's bean curd.
Fuck it, I'll take it.
Is there anything else?
You got any lint?
It's still hot. Yeah, but
Can I eat my leg? I'll eat my leg.
is Steve dead yet? I'll eat Steve.
I'll just take the loose tums. Thanks.
I'll just lick off the sauce. It'll be fine.
Grant, what you got for us today?
Who you
All
learning
right.
about today?
Well, so this one in general, it's kind of tough as far as like giving a hard line op-ed approach. On one hand, the music in general from this region and era is pretty fucking badass. On the other hand, it's abundantly clear these were just a bunch of bored, confused, angsty, and most importantly, fucking nerdy teenagers that stumbled on something they were surprisingly good at and gained some quick notoriety from, but went about in such a lame ass way. On the third hand,
Are you talking about our podcast?
oddly enough, no. On the third hand,
There will be some intersection between people who like our podcast and people who like this genre of music, though. And that's a nasty Venn diagram.
that's so true. But they did some really fucking brutal damage to themselves and their country. Look, you guys, you dumbasses come up with your own opinions, I suppose. But either way, today I'm going to be talking about Norwegian black metal.
That's the angry stuff, right?
Yes, sir. It's quite angry.
I think I'm going to talk in a Wisconsin accent for the rest of the time being.
It feels kind of suitable, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the stuff that you scream in your car alone to, right?
You know, did you guys
sir.
watch Metalocalypse?
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, actually.
A little bit.
I'm obsessed with it. I've
It's
watched
great.
every episode.
I was going to say, you sound like Pickles from
yeah, he's
the drummer, but
yeah.
you sound like his dad or something.
Which one of my
you.
yeah, my favorite element of Pickles, the drummer in Metalocalypse, he's balding, but he has a like
He still-
cornrow comb over.
Hell yeah.
So it's like cornrow braids, but a comb over. It's
I think
the most
I'm
amazing
I
thing.
think I'll probably try to rock that at some point in my life.
Murder face.
So basically, like if we want to keep on with the Metalocalypse thing, Squizgar, the really
Squizgar,
good guitar
Squigelf.
player, he is Swedish death metal. And the Toki, the
Toki
rhythm
Wartooth.
player, he is a massive mocking of Norwegian black metal because he does come from Norway.
That's right.
In the show, but he loves like teddy bears and like cuddly shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is just the show creators' way of making so much fun of these kids.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what they are.
These are edgelords taken to their disgusting logical extreme.
Yeah. No, for real. So in art, specifically music, more specifically rock and metal music, rebellion is the MO. Never has there been a more extreme form of musical rebellion than Norwegian black metal. The genre's founding band, Mayhem, and its sister act, Burzum, and supporting players with names, and their names, and here comes the lame part, Necro Butcher, Hellhound, and Dead, horrified Norway with acts of terror like
Hang on.
murder.
That was the members.
Yeah.
Give me the names again.
Necromancer, Hellhound, and Dead.
These are
Pretty sick.
names of members in the band.
Yeah.
What's the band name again?
Mayhem.
Mayhem.
That's pretty sick. I feel like this is like their version of NWA. You know?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Norwegians
a
with
little bit,
attitude.
Yeah. Ooh. Now
Put
we're
it on a
talking.
shirt. But with like the corpse paint and, and everything, and they're just like. Honestly, I
That's a good
like
shirt.
that a lot.
That's a good shirt. But they had acts of terror like murder, suicide, church burnings, grave desecrations, and even alleged cannibalism. By the time the ashes settled, numerous members of these bands would be dead or in jail for arson or murder. But for all that, we actually do have some great music.
There's some great stuff in Norwegian
there really
black
is some
metal.
good shit. Yeah. From the late 50s until the 80s, rock and roll was really heavy-handed on pushing social boundaries, making references of sex, drugs, selling your soul to the devil, etc.
The fun stuff.
Exactly. Parents, teachers, and squares all around were freaking out about the music that was ruining the youths of Eisenhower's post-war America.
I don't know what they're saying, but it can't be good. If it sounds like that, I know it's not.
Yeah, this was also prime like American kind of anti-intellectualism, but also censorship. There were like, they were like EC, I believe, was the horror comics company that used to put out stuff that like kind of inspired Tales from the Crypt. And I believe they were the first example of a comic book, especially being stamped with a parent's with like a label,
Right.
Kind of like the explicit label on
Right.
albums.
Yes.
That was the beginning of all of that. The reason that there's a parents music resource council, there's stamps explicit on stuff was all kind of from this time.
Yeah. And the that rebellious aspect of this music kept building upon itself, right? Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin stole from American blues and made it something darker and heavier with subtle satanic references, which led to quote unquote proper metal groups like Venom, Metallica, Slayer, and many, many more.
And a lot of fantasy references too.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath was super into Tolkien.
See, this is wild
Led
to
Zeppelin
me.
was into Tolkien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I grew up thinking that, well, my parents were told me that like Kiss was evil Satan music. So like
They were
thinking of
actually-
like my parents listening to Norwegian black metal, just want to have a good time,
I mean, that's basically it. Yeah.
enjoy my life. But now I want to like make my mom listen to Norwegian black metal and be like, so how evil do you think this is?
Exactly.
Wait, play that backwards. I want to worship the devil today.
I really enjoy my friends.
Where did that come from? Actually, remember because back in
Yeah.
the day, like if you played this album backwards,
It was a Zeppelin album.
Yeah.
Or a song. Yeah.
and it
Wasn't,
sounds like
wasn't there a
Worship the
Kiss
Devil.
one too, where like they would play it backwards? They would say like "Hail Satan."
There's a Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones was another one, but one they actually took to court over.
Actually, it
Dee
might be-
Snider.
Yeah, Twisted
Yeah.
Sister.
Thank you, Twisted Sister.
might
And
be an
he
episode of
mocked
that 70s
the
show.
judge
Yeah.
and the court the whole time.
Which he was right to do so.
And he was, yeah.
Yeah. Dee Snider, surprisingly strong resource for like artistic rights and like civil liberties and not being censored.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
I wish there was still like did they film that that
The court?
Yeah.
I think there are clips of the court
Because I
case,
feel like
him
that was
in court.
I feel like that was like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard of the time.
Well, it's like he is in court and he's got like his like crazy long poodle hair and it's like tucked kind of neatly.
Yeah.
And he's wearing like a sleeveless suit or something like that. And he's got his hot dog skin and he's just like in there and it's like Mr. D. Snyder in front of him. And he's just like, this is fucking stupid. Why would I put stuff backwards on a record? You really think this is what we're doing?
We don't have time for that.
Yeah, he's like, we're making music.
But either way, these horrid youths now had long hair, were smoking the pot, and God forbid, on birth control.
No.
They were burning their bras, worshiping the devil, and doing cocaine even.
Hell yeah.
So the obvious progression is that in 1991, a Norwegian
premarital
music
sex.
made a necklace out of his friend's skull fragments.
It's a logical conclusion.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
This is what happens when you get boogie woogie.
Exactly.
Next thing you know, you got people necklaces.
Norwegian teenagers inspired by previously mentioned groups and many more were simultaneously insanely bored and understimulated by their cold, long, dark winters, while in their safe, insular, and conformity-driven communities they lived in. They accidentally developed black metal. Norway was a small is a small constitutional monarchy. They came from Vikings, dabbled a little bit in fascism, and eventually settled into a democratic socialism. This small country has a lot of wealth, and
You make it sound like
changing
I
outfits.
I was thinking more like a they got out of a bad relationship and then like I'm gonna try polyamory and then it's like it's not for me.
Yeah. You know what? We're going to settle down with some nice democratic socialism.
Yeah.
You
pretty
don't
much,
like
yeah.
the colors.
so
What do you mean I have to wear gray on gray?
So this small country has a lot of wealth, and the state takes care of its own. 30% of its citizens are bureaucrats. Pensions are abundant, income disparity is low, crime is even lower, and punishment for criminals are insanely lenient compared to the U.S. Like, their max is 22 years. You can kill 17 people, and you just get 22 years.
But to be fair, there is a lot of that. People talk about that a lot, but I think it's like at the end of those 22 years, your max, that you go up for review and they can just give you another 22 years.
They can.
okay.
They can.
Yeah. But the idea is that, after those 22 years, there'll be new people who are in charge of appeals and there'll be new people there who can like basically look at your case with fresh eyes.
Yeah. And I'll allude to it later, but your time in jail there is kind of awesome.
Oh my God, dude.
I've heard it's like
A lot of social
Rehab.
reform.
It's like sleepaway camp.
No,
in
it's-
actual
because the whole
rehabilitation.
point
rehab.
of their prison system is to rehabilitate.
exactly.
And so
That's the point I'm
focused
getting at.
on
not
trying-
incarcerate for profit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're an American listening to this, which, hey, international people, it sucks here. How are you guys doing? But like, it's really hard to explain how different Norway is from here. Like, if you need something, there's almost inevitably going to be a government service that will provide you with that thing that you need, whether it's housing or food or water or a
no, seriously.
job,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, we can make fun of Norway, but they got some good stuff over there.
Oh,
They
dude, it's
figured
awesome.
They figured out
Honestly.
some shit.
My favorite fact about Norway, frozen fish is their greatest export.
Hello, here's a fish.
I just loved that so much. But basically, we're talking about Europe's version of America's old money New England community. It seems like it's always been there. It's always been fine. Very little trouble comes from there. And if you're not part of them, you don't really think about them, right? Like, as far as the EU is concerned, Norway's good.
Yeah.
You know,
They just kind of like, should we check in? No, they're fine.
they're fine. They're happy. They're doing their thing. Doesn't really matter.
Until these hoodlums come along. Let's
Exactly.
stir the pot.
Well, that's the thing
So-
too. A lot of where this black metal comes from is like the ultimate suburban comfort.
Exactly. So these pissed off youths are looking to mix some shit up. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of the whole reason, in my opinion, on why this all happened, right? So enter satanic death metal. If you come from Christianity, which Norway is, they claim their primary religion is Christianity, but apparently it's like 2% of the population
Is actually like
religious
Christian-
at all.
Yeah, because it's most everyone is like either like agnostic,
Yeah.
some kind of. There's like pretty somewhat decent community of neo-pagans there, I think.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is kind of like, I don't really care.
But the running joke of Norwegians is that you go to church 3 times. 2 of those times you're carried in.
Yeah.
So when you're baptized or when you die.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
And then there's like that one random Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah, where grandma comes to visit and you're like, I fucking guess so. All right. It's not what I want to do with my holiday, but
I thought it was more like, God, I need this fucking lotto ticket to come in. That's me at least.
I don't think they're worried about winning the lottery over there.
Oh shit, you're
That's
right.
more American.
Yeah,
Yeah, where you're like, oh, cool. The only way to change income brackets. Pure dumb luck. Hell yeah.
No, they
dumb
all
luck.
kind of have the same income bracket. Like everybody, seriously, everybody over there is good.
I want.
Like
It- we need to
not really a
write
homeless population.
a Norwegian Breaking Bad. Like, what could be so bad in Norway that like you have to become like a meth kingpin?
I am Josef Stockholm, and I'm here to sell my Swedish fish.
Oh my God. That reminds me of like a Netflix show back in the day. And
Lilyhammer?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was
And
it?
I didn't finish it, but I enjoyed
Van
It was
Zandt.
cool.
Yeah.
The fucking guitar player for the E Street Band.
Right.
And
was the
Syl
lead
from
actor.
The Sopranos.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, he played basically a mob boss who had to go into witness protection, and they sent him to Norway.
He
And so
chose Lilyhammer.
Oh, he chose?
because he saw the Olympics and he thought it looked nice.
Oh, that's right. And
'Cause
then
he
he
was
goes
kind of an
there, and
idiot.
it's like
Yeah.
basically ultra European Fargo.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he had no idea what to do with himself. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
And then,
But anyways.
and then he starts organized crime in Lilyhammer.
That's right. I mean, really, that's the whole premise. But if you come from Christianity, Satanism is the best form of rebellion. Add some Norse mythology from your ancestors, a little bit of Nazism from the West, a touch of nihilism, and a fuck ton of teen angst. Mix all that up with some overdriven amps and blast beats, and it's the Powerpuff Girls.
This buffet is sick.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Using
Wrong,
their ultra superpowers.
I'm sorry, wrong recipe. You get black metal.
That's great.
You get the what were the boys?
The Rowdy Rough
The
Boy.
Rowdy Rough Boys.
Right. They were made with
Puppy
snips,
dog
snails,
tails,
and puppy dog tails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were fucking
cum.
right.
Why are you trying to make little boys, Austin?
It wasn't me. It was Mojo Jojo, and he stirred him up in a jail cell toilet.
He was trying to make wine. And he was like,
ended up
oh,
with those
3 little
fuckers.
boys.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be here, I'm going to be here.
But on August 16th, 1987, Mayhem released their first demo called Death Crush. Their first full release LP a few years later gets the credit, but this demo really does have that feel of pissed off teenagers bashing their shitty instruments in a poorly recorded basement. It's bleak and primitive and cold. This is the beginning of something new and dark. Now, some of the characters for today's lesson. Actually, before we get into that, Joseph, you want to play a little bit of snippets? Just little
Yeah.
10-second clips so we don't get in trouble.
How old are these kids?
They range from like 18 to 22.
Yeah.
And they form a whole new genre. It becomes a whole
Teenage
thing.
angst starts a little later in Norway.
It's also like smells like what? Teen spirit. They didn't get that till just now.
I'm 22, but I get it.
What do you want? Do you want?
Well, let's give them some. What are we talking about?
I think we were talking about starting with Slayer.
Yeah.
As
Let's
like
give them some Slayer because this is what they were inspired by.
Right. So inspired by a lot of late 70s, early 80s thrash metal. One of the big 4 of thrash metal is Slayer, who really paved the way for Venom and other like Norwegian black metal bands.
Yeah.
This is
Slayer Norwegian? I thought they were American.
No, they're American.
Slayer's American.
they're
He's
from
saying
California, I think.
Yeah, they are.
Slayer inspired these kids.
Yeah, this is the stuff that they were getting shipped over to Norway and
Right.
we're listening to, and we're like, oh shit, we got to do this
shit's lit.
kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so this is Die by the Sword by Slayer.
Live on the soul and help to contain the helpless minds of you all. Down on my hands and pools of blood, cut yourself as you fall. Murderous tyranny.
And that's it.
Yeah. And
That's all we got.
It reminds me more like high driven punk. anything.
It basically is.
Yeah, thrash metal kind of borrowed from like a lot of like hardcore punk roots and like bands, and we're kind of like, okay, so what if we take like the atmosphere and aesthetics of like doom and gloom and metal and like Black Sabbath, and we speed it up.
Yeah.
I love thrash metal.
Yeah.
It's like the best.
Like
Metalheads are going to get really fucking mad no matter what you say because they're all a bunch of persnickety fucks. I love you guys.
that is true. There are
Thrash metal's the best.
There's no other
I would agree with that.
overarching genre than metal that has more subgenres that
Oh, dude.
people within that community will fight tooth and nail. Of like,
That's grindcore, and
Yeah.
that's new wave of British heavy metal, and that's blackened thrash metal.
I prefer post-hardcore.
Yeah, yep.
it's crazy. It's
I'm a
just,
gent guy.
it's just a bunch of nerds that really like music and they like it fast and hard and heavy. I don't know why that they hate each other so much, but that's very much
Joseph,
the
where
way.
does Pierce the Veil land in this? Are they even considered
Pierce
any
the
kind of
veil.
That's like emo hardcore.
Yeah.
none of no metal?
It would be like kind of like a
Hardcore-
subdivision of screamo.
Yeah. Hardcore's technically metal, but it's kind of off to the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pure metalheads will be very annoyed that you even brought that band up.
Damn.
Probably.
What
yes.
about
Yeah.
Veil of Maya?
I don't know that one.
You know that band?
I recognize the name, but
I think there's that song that they had where they played that clip of some dude that was making fun of another band that was like, all they got is bueno now, and then they go into like the which that's my favorite kind of metal.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So back to
Oh, do you want more?
Mayhem. If you want, you can play it.
Do you want
Real quick.
Mayhem?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is the band we're talking about.
Yeah.
Primarily Grant's going to be talking about, I believe, Mayhem. This is hold on, let me cue it
So
up.
this is like this is basically the first Norwegian black metal band, as people consider it.
It was barely 1 second. Don't fucking jump my shit,
You got 9 more.
music people. Whoever the music execs are that are like watching, listening to podcasts, like 8, 9, fuck. Okay.
It's in all seriousness, one of my other podcasts, they have pulled episodes down because
Yeah.
we played more than 10 seconds.
We're
It's
trying
crazy.
to avoid that, people. So here's going to be 10 seconds of Mayhem song, Chainsaw Guts Fuck.
Hang on, what's
Yeah,
it
that's
called?
right. Chainsaw guts fuck.
Yeah.
So, the lead singer of this group is a kid named Per Yngve Pelle Olin, better known by his stage name Dead. He was a
Much
Swedish,
easier to say.
Swedish
please.
musician who was best known as the lead vocalist and lyricist of the Norwegian black metal band Mayhem that we just listened to, from 1988 until his death in 91. Prior to Mayhem, he performed as the vocalist in the Swedish death metal / thrash band Morbid. He then moved to Norway at the age of 19 to play with Mayhem. So how he got the
Wait, he
gig,
died in 91?
Yeah. So how he got the gig as the lead vocalist for Mayhem is pretty ridiculous to me, but of course I thought it was just super badass, bro. He sent a demo of him playing with the other band, a note that basically read, "Consider me if you want to, but who fucking cares?" and a dead mouse on a crucifix
That's right.
in a package. Not a stuffed mouse, but a putrid, decaying one on like a little toothpick.
I'm like a little like 2x2 popsicle stick crucifix that this guy had like glued together.
And they loved it.
He gets it.
Yeah. So Dead was a popular figure of the Norwegian black metal scene, and his legacy persists in the genre to this day. Roadrunner Records ranked him number 48 out of 50 of the greatest metal frontmen of all time. With his demeanor, look, and overall opinion that people had of him, fans and musicians alike within the scene rarely had anything other than respect and admiration of this guy. Kind of puts him super loosely akin to Kurt Cobain. Like Kurt, he was also very serious, socially withdrawn, and depressed, but had a passion for what he did. Now, I'm saying all that because within Norwegian black metal, they all talked shit about each other all the fucking time. They were just these gossipy fucking hens.
Please, I made a crucifix out of logs and put a raccoon on it.
He's just not as cool as he pretends to be.
So Dead was known for his morbid personality and an obsession with death. He was obsessed with death from the age of 3. Some believe that Dead suffered from a rare mental condition known as Cotard delusion, which is a rare condition marked by the false belief that you or your body parts are dead, dying, or don't exist. You might hear it called walking corpse syndrome, Cotard syndrome, or nihilistic delusion. It usually occurs with severe depression and some kind of psychotic disorder. This likely occurred from a childhood beating he underwent when some school bullies that landed him in the hospital with a ruptured spleen. He was clinically dead for a few minutes.
Damn, they kicked his ass.
Yeah, right.
At the age of 3?
Yeah.
And not even democratic socialism can bring him back?
Well, apparently it did.
It did bring him back.
They kicked the shit out of a 3-year-old?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it other 3-year-olds?
There's so little information on this like origin story of this guy.
Yeah.
Did he write this book? 'Cause
His
this sounds
older
like bullshit.
brother is the one that talks about some kids beating him up, but some other people in his family say that it was like a skiing accident.
Oh.
I don't know.
Because I'm thinking of a group of Norwegian hoodlums who just see a 3-year-old and they're like, let's kick the shit out of him.
Just
We
like,
got free healthcare. Who cares?
just some
Like one of the guys and the lady's like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of
Just
the
some,
next
like,
guy I see. And then like
hard-ass-
Joseph walks by, it's like, I mean the next guy I see. And then there's a 3-year-old like, come here.
He's carrying a giant lollipop.
Hey, mister.
Hello. Fucking knee to the face.
A gallon of milk, dozen eggs, and a pack of sugar.
Just instead of a lollipop, it's like a frozen fish on a stick. Yeah, that's sehr good. That's German, but you know. You
but
No, we got it.
After
That's
all
good.
this, his obsession with death began. Now, a little later in life, he got his hands on some snuff films that he watched over and over. He cut himself. He stopped eating.
What year
to
is this?
Look emaciated. This is basically like, I mean, for real, from when he was a child until he died. But this is like early teens.
Okay.
And this is
before he
like
really
late
started-
80s?
Yeah, this is like mid to late 80s. That he died as a child and longed for that deep sleep that he experienced as a boy was his obsession. To prepare for shows, once he joined Mayhem,
I felt so refreshed the next morning. I just want that again.
he
It's like I had a new spleen.
I'm also hung up when they're like, I was obsessed with snuff films. Because if you remember when the internet was just starting for us, and they were like, yeah, there's tons of boobs on there. Oh shit! And there's the beheading.
And some dead
Have you seen
people.
that? The
Oh,
beheading.
dude.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucked up. And also, I'll explain a little later.
You
but-
kids don't know what the fucking internet is.
When we
With your
first got
dark web and your bullshit TikTok.
So to prepare for shows, he would bury his clothes days in advance. So when he wore them on stage, he had the stench of earth on him, like a corpse.
Like a zombie.
He also
Yeah.
walked around inhaling a bag with a dead crow in it, wanting death on his nostrils while he was performing. On stage, he cut himself, covering him, his bandmates, and the audience with his blood.
All right, so a little method acting there.
A little bit. And this goes without saying, but he wore all black leather and denim with spikes and studs, and he painted his face in black and white, trying his best to emulate a corpse. This is not kiss painting. This isn't Alice Cooper. This is him trying really hard to look dead.
Like mortician's makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Is the crow thing real?
Oh, 100%.
Because I feel like you just get sick.
Well, he died pretty young, so
Well, there's
I don't think it helped. Puffing his crow gas.
It might not have been the crow, but certainly was a catalyst. Speaking of catalyst,
Yeah.
welcome to Murder Murder, everybody.
We're doing another intro.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
I'm a confused Joseph.
Well, you know when a doc is asking you like all your habits, the unhealthy ones,
I huff crawl.
and you like lie about everything.
Crow's disease.
I have crow's feet, and the rest of them in this bag.
High five.
Come on.
High five from the distance.
High five a million angels.
Now,
You know, I'm just saying, like, when you talk to a doctor and like they're like, how many beers do you drink? You're like, I don't know, 4
4 or 5
a week.
How many crows do you inhale?
He would not lie. He's like, I cut myself. I spit it on everybody.
That's
Yeah,
like
no,
a,
like, for real. Like apparently after shows, they'd be in like the green room or whatever, and there's not really a green room. It's a very small scene. They're playing to like maybe 20 people, but he would just. Everybody's like really excited because they played a good set or whatever. And he would just kind of be in the corner like, I don't feel good. It's like, yeah, bro, you like bled all over the stage and you spent an hour huffing a dead bird. Yeah, of course you don't feel good, you know?
Then we're going to get OJ.
I feel pretty drained right now.
my tummy hurts.
What's that
I wonder
smell?
why, dead.
Oh, I wish I was dead.
Now, Mayhem's lead guitarist, Øystein Arseth,
Can I
better
suck
known,
your dick? I wish I was dead.
Yeah, seriously, you got probably groupies coming up and like, wow, that was such a good show you did. And he's just like,
Wow, that's kind of a downer.
are you into necrophilia?
No.
Oh, well, then I don't have time for you. So Mayhem's lead guitarist, Øystein Arseth, better known by his stage name, Euronymous, was a Norwegian musician and a founder of, and a crucial figure in the early Norwegian black metal scene. He's the only constant member from the band's formation in 1984 until his death in 93. He was also a founder and owner of this extreme metal record label, Death Like Silence Production, and a record shop called Helvete, which is Norwegian for hell. Euronymous professed to being a theistic Satanist and was known for making extreme misanthropic statements. He presented himself as leading a militant cult-like group known as the Black Metal Inner Circle. He was the charismatic leader of the Norwegian black metal scene. Before all this, he and Dead were roommates and besties. They listened to Motorhead, talked politics, dissed poser metal bands like Death Angel and Napalm Death, which is fucking annoying because I love Napalm Death.
Yeah, Napalm Death is great.
And they fucking hated Swedish death metal. And they plotted their band's rise to infamy. On April 8th, 1991, Olin, a.k.a. Dead, sat down on his couch to write a note that read, "Excuse the blood, but I have slit my wrist and neck. It was the intention that I would die in the woods so that it would take a few days before I was possibly found. I belong in the woods, and I have always done so. No one will understand the reason for this anyway. To give some semblance of an explanation, I'm not a human. This is just a dream, and I soon will awake. I was too cold, and the blood was coagulating all the time. Plus, my new knife is too dull. If I don't succeed dying to the knife, I will blow all the shit out of my skull. Yet I do not know. I left all my lyrics by Let the Good Times Roll, plus the rest of the money. Whoever finds it gets the fucking thing. As a last salutation, may I present Life Eternal. Do whatever you want with the fucking thing. Signed, Pele," which is kind of what he called himself. It was sort of his family nickname. He then slit
Edgy.
both of his wrists and his throat and somehow still shot himself in the head with a shotgun.
That's actually really impressive.
I agree.
It's metal as fuck.
Yeesh.
Now,
Rate
Did he
my
actually-
paint setup.
Did he?
Sounds like
Like,
you had shit for
don't
brains.
you lose motor
Yeah.
functions?
I want to say he crossed the street and didn't go down the river. What's the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like, attention results.
Yeah.
He did the results one.
Yeah.
No, he went
He
for
did the
attention.
attention.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But then got results.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also too is like when you like it is hard to like slit someone's throat, and it's like you have
even
to
harder
actually
to slit your own throat.
Well, that's the thing because you have to dig in because a lot of people nick the windpipe. They don't necessarily like actually get through to that like big
carotid.
vein, the carotid. Thank you. That's what
Right.
it's called. So it's like, and it's your own. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right,
it's
right.
like maybe he pulled back a little bit unconsciously even and just like kind of slit his throat and was just kind of like, fuck, man, it's such a hassle.
Right. Now, Euronymous found dead when he got home. Thank you, Joseph. He didn't call the cops or his...
Shit, he said he was gonna do that on Wednesday.
There goes my weekend.
Now, Euronymous...
Oh, so you just left dishes in the sink, huh? You could have done those, huh? Appreciate it, Dad.
Oh, too depressed to do the dishes? Oh, great.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll do it again.
You killed yourself because I called you out on this. It better be in the note. If it's not in the note, I'm gonna be pissed.
So, Euronymous...
Probably how he reacted.
Euronymous didn't call the cops or any family, but he ran down the street to buy a fucking camera. He took some choice photos. He knew a good album cover when he saw one.
Oh boy.
That's actually kind of sick. I'm back on board.
He then began to collect bits of the brains and skull fragments for a nice stew and some jewelry, respectively. Let's see those fucking poser bands compete with some cannibalism and human bone knickknacks.
Ew.
But seriously, he used one of the photos for a live album of Mayhem, and it's on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this kid that shot himself is actually a live album cover of this band. You can see it. I unfortunately saw it because I had to go on Reddit for some of this information.
Yeah.
And they just
And,
they don't care.
Reddit's just like, here you go.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, God, that's real. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot of horror movies. Something about it. Like, when you see a real dead person,
It
you
sticks
know.
with you.
It's
Yeah.
weird. I don't know.
Dude, if I ever off myself, do this with my body, because that's sick.
Do you want us to change the thumbnail for Murder Schmurder to
Jesus Christ.
What other kind of true crime posers? Fucking losers. What's that podcast you like?
You have to narrow it down.
The other true crime podcast.
Last podcast?
Yeah, those fucking losers, those fucking posers.
They're amazing.
Yeah, let's take shots at last podcast. Yeah, sure.
Wait until I
That'll
kill
help.
myself, and then we have a stew, and then there's a picture of it. They're gonna look so stupid.
Joke's on you. I killed myself.
Why is Jamie's penis stapled to his forehead?
He was depressed. I don't know what to tell you. Sad people do irrational things. It's a weird way to kill yourself. Just cut your dick off and nail it to your forehead. I don't want there to be any questions. Like you're stapling your garage band fucking poster to a fucking telephone pole.
Dude, and you know, if I off myself, I'm gonna do something annoying to the three of you. It's like, by the way, I took a shit in your trunk.
Oh yeah, no, there'll definitely be something where it's like, by the way, I did this really inconvenient, mean thing, but you can't be mad because I killed myself.
No, if you were to do that, it would be like,
I put a dead
Why-
fish in your ACU.
why is Jamie's dick in his mouth? If you were to
Who
give me a
moved
fucking
All of us hiding our bloody hands. I don't know. I don't know. We just found them like that.
So now that we have our origin stories, let's see what they influenced on this sleepy little country. Helvete, i.e. Hell, the record store that I mentioned earlier, was in Oslo. Norwegian black metal musicians often met at the shop in its basement. They included the members of Mayhem, the members of Emperor, Varg, i.e. Count Grishnak.
Varg.
I like that name.
Hang on, so they would
You
all
won't
meet
like
up
the
just
guy.
to talk shit about
Give it
each
some
other?
time. Varg Vickers is a fuck.
Hang on, they would all meet up at this one place and just talk shit about each other?
Yeah.
More or less. Yeah. So like if someone wasn't in the room, they were talking shit about that guy.
This is an incredibly catty group of goths.
No, seriously.
Seriously.
Why does this sound like straight edge metalheads here?
That's kind of what it is.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Like your friend who likes metal that you roll your eyes at most of the time.
Right.
This,
if they ever
that's
start talking about their passions, you're like, oh, okay, buddy.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is a whole fucking like subculture of just that guy.
Yeah.
And then Snorri, who went by Blackthorn of the band Thorns. Euronymous Varg and Emperor guitarist Thomas Samoth Harrigan.
Were there other thorns in
Yeah, was there a brown thorn?
Thorn?
Oh, no.
It's Norway. I don't know
He
how
was
many
the
brown
only-
thorns there are.
He was the only thorn. Yeah.
Waste.
And the Emperor drummer Bard Faust Ithun also lived and worked there. So they would kind of, very little of them worked. They were basically just living off the state and also bashing the state.
Typical.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
It was only a matter of time.
In this instance, I'm allowing Austin to say that as much as he wants to. The shop's walls.
This is what happens when you feed people. That's all I'm saying.
You give a mouse a cookie.
Yeah. They're going to ask for a glass of blood.
A glass of blood. Oh yeah.
So the shop's walls were painted black and super dark and covered in medieval weapons, posters of other like black metal bands, and picture discs. And its window always had a like tombstone up in it. During the time it was open, Helvete was the focal point of the Norwegian black metal scene. A writer of a fanzine that he called Slayer said that the opening of Helvete was the creation of the whole Norwegian black metal scene. In 2008, Daniel Ekeroth wrote, within just a few months, many young musicians had become obsessed with Euronymous and his ideas, and soon a lot of Norwegian death metal bands transformed into black metal bands, which is a massive distinction for them. Amputation became immortal. Thou Shalt Suffer turned into Emperor, and Dark Throne swapped their Swedish-inspired death metal for primitive black metal.
These are all bands that are now
Yes,
new bands.
They're renaming
Right,
themselves
right.
because this almost Kurt Cobain character, Dead, killed himself, and his bandmate Euronymous was like, "Look what he did," and I put this picture up, and they were like, "Oh, so cool," you know. I mean, seriously. Most notoriously, a band called Old Funeral. Which, fucking what? But
we're talking like 75, 80. Like what's old and democratic socialist Norway?
let's real quickly. I'm just going to toss.
Sounds
out,
like they're living forever.
Yeah, I'm tossing out a
God
better.
forbid.
I'm going to toss out a darker name on that theme of Baby Funeral. That's darker. That's heavier.
That's heavier.
Yeah.
That's heavier than Old Funeral.
I'm almost 100% sure there is just a band called Infant Mortality.
But
there
is
is,
there
Yeah,
another
right?
band
Yeah,
just
there
kind
is.
of like, he was on his way out? Funeral?
Yeah. Look, he lived a long life. You know, the band name is called Look, He Lived a Long Life.
Yeah. Betty White Funeral?
We are hospice.
Damn, you got
That's great. I want to start a band called Hospice.
So this stupid
It's
fucking
Midwestern
band,
emo.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, sir.
100%.
Yes, sir.
So this stupid fucking band name, their guitar player named Varg Vikernes, which you know,
What a fuck,
sucks so
dude.
goddamn much.
He sucks so hard.
But he left that band to form his own creation, Burzum. And if you want to just pull up 10 seconds of Burzum,
I feel like that's
I'll
what
give you 10 seconds of
anything.
Burzum.
It sucks
like-
so much. This
I feel
guy
like
sucks.
that's-
His band sucks. I fucking hate
I
him.
feel like that's what Norwegian babies suck on. Burzums.
Yeah, that's just Norwegian for binky.
Yeah.
I was thinking boobies.
Booby is good too. I can tell you though, if you're repping a Burzum shirt at a show, fucking snatch that shit right off you. fucking be aware of that. You'll find out why.
Okay.
Don't you worry about that. All right, I'm just going to play you 10 seconds of Burzum. It's all bad. All right.
So
Actually,
poorly
that's probably-
recorded Black Sabbath.
Is that what Black Sabbath sounds like?
No,
No.
they sound so much better.
I actually kind of enjoyed that. Can you send that to me?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to wait till the end of the episode,
my
or
God.
I'll just go ahead and send it to
Jamie, if you end up loving the worst band of this whole
Seriously,
scene,
if this is what you latch on to,
I'm gonna be so mad at you.
I'm going to send it to you
I have
against,
very odd
against my
music
better.
taste. You know that.
That's true, you do. Anyways, Euronymous presented the whole Black Circle as an organized cult-like group of militant Satanists whose activities were founded by his record shop, and they referred to them as satanic terrorists.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's giving me.
It's unfortunate, but Satanic Terrorist is the new name of my band.
It's mine. What was that one thing? It reminds me of Fight Club.
Mine's applesauce and pills.
Our first album. That's how I hide them. With the title track, I Don't Know They're There.
Who are you again?
We are denture paste.
The geriatric STI. What about Fight Club?
One of the song titles is like, "Why can't I say that anymore?"
What?
Why
Nice.
can't I? Yeah,
Nice.
thank you.
Nice.
Someone got the joke.
So they were bitterly opposed to Christianity and organized religion as a whole,
You don't say.
right? They presented themselves as devil worshippers who wanted to spread hatred, sorrow, and evil. They attacked the Church of Satan for being too humane. The
Yep.
theistic Satanism they espoused was an inversion of Christianity. So they just wanted to be the opposite of Christians, just to be
sounds a little bit
cute.
like organized religion.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too is that like because Grant's hitting the theistic Satanism because most Satanists are like Levian Satanists, where they're really just kind of like chill goths who want to get freaky with each other, or people who are just like
Butt
the
sex.
the Church of Satan actually does a lot of like tries to do a lot of legal battles to help people protect and exercise their freedom of religion and their freedom from religion. Like they'll come down on the side of religious liberty as much as they will the sides of, hey, just because you're religious, that's fine, but you can't tell other people how to live.
Yeah.
Most of them are just atheists who like to pick a fight with churches and legal battles,
no,
right?
100%.
Whereas theistic Satanists legitimately believe in the devil in the same way that Christians do, but they believe that they should follow him because he is the evil one.
Ah, okay.
So,
Yeah.
for example, he professed to be in favor of totalitarianism. Oh, Jesus, I always fuck up that.
Totalitarianism?
There it is. Thank you, Austin. And against
I
compassion,
can't read good, but I can say words good.
peace, happiness, and fun. He hates compassion, peace, happiness, and fun.
All those things are great.
I know.
But hang on. But technically speaking, all those things aren't like Christian, but well, technically, because it's like technically what that Jesus sayings were. But wouldn't Satan just be Satan because he opposed God and not technically making himself evil?
Yeah.
But they are saying Satan is evil and they should go against
So
everything.
again, these are like bored, privileged teenagers that
Stupid
have just
teenagers.
a loose grasp on what Christianity is
Fascinating.
and are going just against the grain just to be
Let the hate flow through
Cute.
you.
Yep.
really.
Yeah, they're Sith. They're Sith lords.
Yeah. Exactly. They're Sith edgelords.
Right.
Okay, okay, I'm grasping. That makes sense.
Sith edge lords.
Picture the Star Wars kid
Right.
from the early internet, but like with the corpse paint.
Use the force, but not too much.
Yeah.
Stop when it feels good.
So
Stop when it feels good.
Many people who knew Euronymous said that the extreme satanic image he projected was in fact just that, a projection, which bore little resemblance to his real personality. A lot of different people said that, but there was a lot of smoke, but not so much fire. This one kid, though, that claimed that he was Euronymous' best friend said that he was such a devil worshiper you wouldn't believe it.
Believe me, I would.
This guy's crazy about the devil.
He hates fun.
Yeah, how do you hate fun?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's
What a stick in the mud.
but that's what makes no sense to me. Like, how are you gonna? You're having fun, hating fun.
Yeah,
is what
Exactly.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Also, Satanists are supposed to have fun. That's the whole point of being a Satanist. Not, you know what I mean?
It's all about heavy drugs and butt sex.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great time.
Well,
you
some
know?
Christians still have butt sex.
Well, that's
Mormons.
Yeah, but you don't have to feel guilty about it. And
That's true. It's
you can
guilt-free
drink
butt
coffee,
sex.
which helps with the butt stuff clearing
All
out.
Mormons drink coffee.
Caffeinated, guilt-free butt
They
sex.
just tell you
I
that
mean,
they
come on.
don't. No, I'm kidding. I had a few Mormon friends growing up in high school that would like
Same.
sneak monsters. I'm like,
Sneak monsters.
Yeah.
So they're like Jehovah Witness, like evil Sith lords. Okay,
Yeah,
like no,
you're getting it.
it's your birthday. No, it's not. All right, whatever, Joel. Yeah.
Take him to Denny's for a birthday pancake. And they're
I'm
like,
not having fun.
I hate this.
So, regarding the term black metal, Euronymous said that it all applies to any heavy metal band who are theistic Satanists and write satanic lyrics, which is straight up and down doo-doo garbage. It's supposed to be about the sound of it, but whatever. Such ideas were repeated by other scene members, such as Faust. At the time, bands with a style similar to Norwegian black metal, but without satanic lyrics, tended to use other terms for their music. Some bands in the scene were interested in pre-Christian Norway and its traditions. There was an undercurrent of romantic nationalism in the scene. Some scene members also flirted with Nazi imagery. But this was largely an attempt to provoke. Basically like the punk scene in the UK back in like the 70s and early 80s.
Yeah, like a lot of those guys would put like swastikas and stuff on their albums to try to like
Just
basically
piss people
just
off.
yeah, piss people off because it's only like a couple decades after the Nazis were literally bombing England. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's still people who remember that shit.
right.
And so they're just trying to piss people off, which actually kind of led to a bunch of like bands like the Dead Kennedys back in the 70s having that song Nazi Punks Fuck Off because so many people in the actual Nazi subculture, if you want to call it a culture, or in that subdivision would see that and be like, oh, cool, I'm going to go to this punk show. And they would be starting shit because a lot of punks were actually like, there's multiple people of color and queer people all together in this community. And then they were like, oh, we should probably stop doing that because it makes us look like assholes and attracts the wrong people.
Right.
Yeah.
Bad PR move.
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah, no, it's just like they were so edgy that they fucked themselves. Like,
Damn it! I thought it was gonna be a good idea.
yeah, putting all the swastikas on there sure kind of backfired.
The California Uber Alice is one of my favorite Dead Kennedy songs.
That's a great song.
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
god,
great.
it's just fun.
Soup is good food is a good one. Let's lynch the landlord. That's a
But
good one.
in a private letter written in the early 1990s, Euronymous claimed that almost all Norwegian black metal bands at the time were more or less Nazis. He was interested in
Totalitarianism.
Thank you. Communist states, and he wished to see people rot under communist dictatorship. However, apart from Varg, this scene was largely non-political. In 1992, members of the Norwegian black metal scene began a wave of arson attacks on Christian churches. By 1996, there had been at least 50 attacks in Norway. In every case that was solved, those responsible were black metal fans. Some of the buildings were hundreds of years old and seen as important historical landmarks. The first was Norway's Fantoft Stave Church, which is a style of architecture for churches over there, which was burnt to the ground in June of 1992. Police believe that Varg Vikernes of Burzum was responsible, and the cover of Burzum's EP, Ask, which is translated to Ashes, is a photograph of this destroyed church.
Current, like, while it is actively on fire.
You know, this is kind of bullshit. This is kind of upsetting me because one of the tenets of Nazism is Christianity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
And aliens.
And amphetamines.
well, no, that was
They loved amphetamines.
Yeah, dude. They were
Right.
loved amphetamines, and they thought that Aryans were descended from Atlanteans.
Yeah.
is that a fact?
Yeah. There's a lot of...
100%.
no, the Nazis and the occult, like, it doesn't just... I mean, it sounds like
I
a
thought
dumb...
that was more the occult. I thought that was more what's his face, Hitler, and not just Nazis.
No, I mean, Hitler and a lot of like top tier SS officers were essentially inducted into a silly fraternal order of. Listen, this is like not just another episode, but like we could do a Nazis and occult thing, and I'll take that bullet because
could have
it's
a
really
season on
interesting.
that shit.
No, we could literally do like a full entire season on it because as dumb as you might think it is right now to hear, oh, the Nazis thought Aryans were like descended from Atlanteans, it goes so much deeper than
they
that.
also thought Atlanteans were half alien, half human hybrids.
But I thought
Yeah.
But it started with Christianity. How did it divulge into that?
Probably mushrooms, gunpowder, and amphetamines snorted into the nostril.
Dude, that's a hell of a cocktail.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. We'll do a whole thing
Was it like Hitler? Was it the Olympics where he's just like fucking just
like keyed up.
yeah, he's just
Yeah.
shaking,
Fucking go.
like he's on
Yeah.
speed and stuff. He's like fucking horse racing.
Give me another bump. This shit is lit.
Yeah,
Was that the Olympics when it was in Germany?
Yeah, in Berlin. It wasn't that his mustache was shaped like that. It was just the rest of it was so white from cocaine that you could only see a little bit.
This episode's going long, so I'm gonna just kind of skim over some stuff.
No, I'm liking it. Keep going.
Yeah, dude.
Well, to coincide with the release of Mayhem's De Mysterious Dumb Satanas, Vikernes and Euronymous had allegedly planned to bomb the Nidaros Cathedral, which appears on the album cover as well. The musicians Faust,
What were the
Samoth,
Norwegian police doing? Like, what were they?
They were probably just sitting in the station calmly drinking hot cocoa and not beating people up, thinking, I sure do love being in Norway.
pretty much, like for a long
Like
time.
a church was burned to the
So he
ground.
burst through the door. The church is burning down. We'll get to it.
No, more so
That's the government fire department's
So
job.
the crime rate is so low there. Something as socially
field day with this shit.
something as socially as atrocious as burning a church intentionally was so outside of their realm of reason that they were like, it must have been an electrical issue. A lot of these churches were like made of wood, so like maybe
And they're
lightning-
old. They're very old.
Right.
They're so old.
So
were
when they
thinking
go
that-
up, they...
yeah.
Right.
And so even though there
Yeah,
were
pretty much.
there are pictures on these like obscure esoteric, metal bands covers
That they don't know
that are other
about.
piece- Yeah, they don't know about them, and even if they did see them, they'd be like, "Oh, these kids thought it'd be cool to take a picture of this church that was on fire."
Right.
Like the idea of it being arson was so outside of their head until the numbers started racking up very quickly. Because again, it was like close to 50 within
Right.
like a 2-year span.
That's the 13th one this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when they
Exactly, yeah.
That's when they took the case file from under the Coinky Dinks file and then moved it over to the arson question mark file.
I love the thought of the police having a go winky dink file.
It's just like, I don't know, maybe.
I also love the idea like they don't have a word for arson because they didn't think that like you wouldn't put it on fire on purpose, would you? Yeah, it's called arson. Arson?
Arson. Must be an American word.
Arson's at home.
on purpose fire. On purpose fire.
Our son's at home and our daughter's at school.
Awesome. So the musicians Faust, Samoth, both of Emperor, and Jorn Inge Tunsberg
Okay.
of a band called Hades Almighty. God damn it. Were also convicted for church arson. Those convicted for church burnings showed no remorse and described their actions as a symbolic retaliation against Christianity in Norway. Mayhem drummer Hellhammer said he had called for attacks on mosques and Hindu temples on the basis that they were more foreign. Today, opinions on the church burnings differ within the black metal community.
Some things never change.
Right? Seriously, though.
Yeah.
Many musicians, singers, and songwriters in the early Norwegian black metal scene, such as Infernus and Gal of Gorgoroth, continue to praise the church burnings. With the latter, I know, dude. Seriously, these kids are so fucking
what
nerdy,
their
man.
opinions are. I think the
We now
names-
go live to Gall and Infernus for their expert opinions. It's just some
they
fucking
just have,
pimple
like-
covered 30-year-old.
Yeah, like they're just covered in pimples and a spiked collar. It's like, yes, we think it was good.
You must be real fun at parties.
Yeah.
I don't like parties.
And if these were like Polish metal musicians, because Poland has like a very staunch Catholic government that is
Actually, a problem.
actually authoritarian,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
this is Norway.
Exactly.
And like, listen,
Again, seriously, this is fucking New England.
yeah,
like
this is
imagine
really nice,
polos
subsidized
and
New
shorts.
England.
Like seriously.
Yeah, and I don't like religion, right? I that's probably pretty clear. But come on,
Yeah.
come on, it's an old church. Leave it alone.
Let them be.
Yeah,
They're not hurting.
you're in Norway.
They're not hurting.
They
you.
give you PlayStations in jail. Okay, relax.
Seriously, they do.
It's fine, but they do for real.
Yeah. But some of the, like I mentioned, Gall, they continue.
Austin's been so smug this entire episode.
Careful what you wish for.
Oh yeah, capitalism's not looking so bad now, is it? We've only killed billions.
Also, when they're trying to rep that street cred and be like, yeah, we burned down that church, it really, it doesn't have that same sting if they're going to rehab PS5 prison.
Exactly. Yeah. I totally agree.
PS3 prison, Jamie.
Hey,
Okay.
they can still play Spider-Man.
This
They'll
is
be
the
fine.
80s. This is like Atari prison.
Okay, you get like a Super
We're in
Nintendo.
93 at this point.
93.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like N64.
Yeah, so you're getting the
N64.
SNES.
In 93? What are you...
I'm old. I'm not that old though.
93
That's
is like,
true. You're entering into our domain.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that's Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that's SNES.
But that's still Mario Brothers 3, which is pretty sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's still some. Oh, there's some bangers on there.
You get some OG Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
Duck Hunt.
They had this really cool tank game. I don't remember, but it was like a really black and red, like blow into
Yeah.
it and slot it.
There was a Star Wars game out then too.
You had Zelda. You had Star Fox.
Oh, that's right. You had Ocarina of Time.
No.
Oh no, you
Not
had
yet, not yet.
Sorry.
Still going back to the N64.
All right, so to finish up on the church burnings.
Oh, you don't want us to keep talking about old video games that we kind of halfway remember?
Keep going.
Yeah, I'm fine too. But oh yeah. So Gall of Gorgoroth continued to praise the church burnings, with the latter saying there should have been more of them, and there will be more of them.
What a dick.
I know. Others such as Necro Butcher and Kidjitil, Manheim of Mayhem and Abath of Immortal see the church burnings as having been futile. Manheim claimed that many arsons were just people trying to gain acceptance within the black metal scene. God damn it.
They'll like me
Tan
if I burn
vocalist
this church.
respected the attacks, but said of those responsible, the only Christianity they defeated was the last piece of Christianity within themselves, which is a very good beginning, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, on August 21st of 1992, Faust, who I mentioned earlier, killed Magne Andresen, which is a gay man in Lillehammer. According to Faust, while walking home at night, a man sexually propositioned him, and Faust agreed to walk with him to the Olympic Park. Once in the woods, Faust stabbed Andresen 37 times and then kicked him in the head repeatedly as he lay on the ground until he died.
Yeah.
Faust claimed he felt no remorse at the time. In the late 1990s, he said of the murder, "I was outside just walking to get some aggression. Sorry, to get out some aggression. It's not easy to describe why it happened. It was meant to happen. And if it was this man or another man, that's not really important." San, his bandmate and Emperor, said Faust had been very fascinated by serial killers for a long time. And I guess he wanted to know what it was like to kill a person. The media linked the murder to black metal, Satanism, and fascism. In a 2008 interview, Faust said, "I was never a Satanist or fascist in any way, but I put behind me the hatred and negativity. Those feelings just eat you up inside." So he was rehabbed. He was sent to Norwegian jail for killing a man just to see what it was like. And they made it about the fact that the man was gay. They made it all about that because they were trying to insinuate that they hated Christianity, gay people, anybody other than white or Aryan or whatever. Yeah, and so this is also like kind of mixed up in the media because again, this is like the craziest thing that's ever happened in Norway.
Yeah.
Since the Vikings, you know what I mean? Right. So,
and plus, like, there's also like, if you kind of think about at this time, and especially in the United States, there's a satanic panic going on, and there's been like cyclical satanic panics, like it happened in the 70s with D&D and like metal music. It happened in the 90s again with essentially the same thing, Marilyn Manson and like Columbine, and then now there's a satanic panic right now with QAnon and you know all this other stuff going on, and Pizzagate and all that, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is kind of like, and it's bad that this happened in this way because this is sort of like what people like Tipper Gore warned would happen if people listened to metal music and read comic books and did this shit. Is that, well, they're going to burn down churches and stab each other and blah, blah, blah. And then that's kind of what they did.
You see?
I had a point. Don't come crying back to the United States when they start burning down your church.
But it's also like, I mean, Dylan and Eric had Marilyn Manson records in their fucking, you know, locker. That's not Marilyn Manson's fault that they shot up the school, you know?
And Marilyn Manson's actually a decent guy.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Well, he's well-spoken and nice to the people around him.
He might be.
Yeah.
I don't know Brian personally.
Right.
Do you think they ever had a hard time
I'm
finding...
reminded of the scene in Wayne's World when they meet Alice Cooper and they have like
Alice Cooper's a fucking gem.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
and he's like they're having like a really nice educational conversation.
Yeah. He's just super cool.
Yeah. It's actually true. Alice Cooper is actually that guy.
Yeah.
A very well-spoken dude. He just understands theatrics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But Euronymous decided to shut down Helvete, our super dark blood and medieval weapons all over the wall record shop, because it began to draw the attention of the police and media. Vard condemned Euronymous for shutting the shop, rather than taking advantage of the publicity, stating, "By doing so, he also made all my efforts more or less pointless."
Boo-hoo.
I know, right? I spent 6 weeks in custody because of that.
Wham, wham.
I know. A magazine published an interview with Varg in February of 1993. In it, he said of the prison system, "It's much too nice here. It's not hell at all. In this country, prisoners get a bed, toilet, and shower. It's completely ridiculous. I asked the police to throw me in a real dungeon and also encourage them to use violence."
We just don't think that would be good for you.
I mean, in his defense, it's probably really hard to be full of hatred in Norway because it's like most people aren't Christian.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have Christians to hate.
He doesn't have that Catholic guilt.
Yeah. And most people are super chill.
And
you know
most
what
people,
I mean?
like, he's surrounded by other white people. So it's not like it's like the Aryans will rise against, like, well, we kind of got it. We kind of got it covered, bud.
Yeah. I mean, and this is a real pitiful boohoo crying, but this guy's got a persecution complex. I say throw him in an American jail for a month. See how he fucking likes it.
Yeah. So he
Never
was
mind.
You've been to a Detroit jail? Well, you gotta be.
right. Seriously though, but anyways,
I don't know. No, you want to throw him in like Louisiana.
Oh, in Angola.
Yeah.
Or just like,
Someplace just humid and hot and surrounded by gators.
Yeah, where they'll literally just make you pick cotton under threat of death. Yeah.
Or stamp fucking license plates. But either way, he was released for a lack of evidence. But shortly after this episode, the Oslo police dispatched its church fire group, which is a new thing they had to make, to Bergen, where they set up a makeshift headquarters in a hotel. According to a book about all this, citing a police report, Varg knocked on their door and they knocked on Varg's door and they virtually forced his way into the suite. Oh, no, shit, that's right. Varg knocked on the cop's door in the hotel and forced his way into the suite. He was dressed in chainmail, carrying 2 large knives in his belt, and flanked by 2 young men who apparently behaved as if they were his bodyguards or henchmen. Varg stated that he was fed up with being harassed by the authorities and that the police investigation into the black metal scene should be stopped.
It's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Showing up like fucking Conan the Barbarian to try to punk out the police.
Right.
So when the police
Dude,
told
Norway
him,
is so lit because like it never in a million years could you convince me to go to like a police station and go
In
knock
plate
on
mail with 2 knives and your bodyguards? No, they kill you instantly.
well, instead of just shooting him on sight, the police just told him he had no right to issue orders.
You
Listen,
can't
buddy,
tell us what to do.
I'm the one that gives the orders around here.
And apparently Varg took one step back and raised his arm in a Roman salute, which is basically the sea Kyle.
Yeah.
In early 1993,
And then they just let him leave.
pretty much, yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah. Like close the door like, that's what's crazy.
Imagine the cops are like, you came all this way just to tell me that?
So in early 1993,
You feel better?
animosity arose between Euronymous, who I was talking about earlier, and Varg. On the night of August 10th, 1993, Varg and his bandmate Snorri, or Blackthorn, who he liked to go by, drove from Bergen to Euronymous' apartment in Oslo. When they arrived, there was a confrontation, and Varg stabbed Euronymous to death. His body was found outside the apartment with 23 cut wounds, 2 to the
So
head,
this is why he was the
5 to the
son of
neck,
a bitch.
and
Oh, it gets
16
worse.
to the back.
Yeah, but he didn't have any chainmail on him, so that's
That's what it was.
Unfair advantage.
If he would have had chainmail, this would have been a fair fight.
Yeah, this is a +2 armor class plate mail, so you can't hurt me.
So Euronymous had been pissed at Varg for a while and was trying to cut him out of like the record label or whatever. And Varg apparently drove to his place, which is several hours,
Dude, you just give me the vibe you want to stab me all the time.
in the middle of the night, saying, "Okay, here's a contract for me to get out of it or whatever." And then they started a fight, and then he started stabbing him out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And Euronymous is like, it's cited that was running through the apartment complex, just like ringing doorbells, slamming on doors, screaming, help me, kind of a thing. And he just kept chasing him down and just stabbing him. And finally, like, he was like, going down the stairs. He lost enough blood where he slowed down, and they just stabbed him so many more times.
Jesus.
The whole
Nobody came to help.
Dude, they're in
Nobody
Norway.
can
They got it made. They're like, I'm not getting involved.
We got free healthcare.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll figure it
they
out.
got free healthcare, and
He'll stitch him up. He'll be all right.
I got a good ass job to go to tomorrow. I'm fine.
They stitched him up, and what did they make? Funny joke. I used to be in mayhem.
Apparently, Varg and his accomplice, they're
Just some guys yelling bloody murder. Help! Help! Anybody, he's stabbing! And everyone's just like turning up the TV a little louder.
Turning up Norwegian Seinfeld. It's called Seinfjord.
Seinfeld.
Jorgen! Instead of Jerry.
Right.
It's fermented fish, Jorgen.
Jorg is George. Who'd Kramer be?
Just Kramer.
It's still
Kragen.
Kramer.
Kramer.
It's the same actor and everything.
Yeah, they got him. This is the post N-word Kramer, though.
He couldn't find any more work in the U.S., so
Yeah,
he wouldn't go away.
but they haven't gotten that news in Norway yet.
Okay, sorry.
So it was speculated that the murder was a result of a power struggle, a financial dispute over Burzum Records, or an attempt at outdoing the stabbing in Lillehammer. Varg denies this and claims that he killed Euronymous in self-defense, which is ridiculous. He says Euronymous had plotted to
Killed
stun
him
him.
self-defense
Yeah.
37 times.
Yeah, the chubby record store owner posed a real threat to you. You fucking asshole.
He said that Euronymous had plotted to stun him with an electroshock weapon, which is a quote, which I guess is a stun gun, tie him up and
Just that
torture
cute
him to
little
death
face of his.
while filming the event, using a meeting about an unsigned contract to ambush him. Varg claims that he intended to hand Euronymous the signed contract that night and tell him to fuck off, but that Euronymous panicked and attacked him first. The self-defense story is doubted by Faust, while Necrobutcher believes that Varg killed Euronymous due to the death threats he received from him.
Oh, okay, all right.
Which again, this is just this
Still doesn't
catty
make
bullshit.
up for it, but
It's just a bunch
it
of
literally
catty
sounds
bullshit.
like high school.
Yes.
That's, yeah.
It-
1,000%.
It's wild.
Yeah. Anyways, Varg was arrested.
emailed me that he was gonna fuck my sister.
Which, honestly, for this scene, probably he did.
I don't have a sister, but I felt threatened.
So Varg was arrested on August 19th of 1993, and many other members of the scene were taken in for questioning around the same time. Some confessed to their crimes and implicated others. So basically, they're pulling in all these nerdy, fucking decked out in black and studs kids, and the first time they were sit in an interrogation room, they're like, he did it, I did some too.
They just folded.
They basically crumpled.
They folded
Immediately.
Yeah. In May of 94, Varg was sentenced to 21 years in prison, which is Norway's maximum penalty, for the murder of Euronymous, the arson of 4 churches, and possession of 150 kilograms of explosives.
God damn.
Yep.
2 churches
What
were
would be the
burned.
sentence here?
I don't know, 3 lives, I want to say.
I think in Texas they just kill you. Like they're just like straight to the chair.
So anyways,
Funny joke.
while,
Joke.
when homie was getting incarcerated,
Vickers.
Euronymous,
Oh.
2 churches were burned the day that he was sentenced, presumably as a statement of symbolic support. Blackthorn was sentenced to 8 years in prison for being an accomplice to that murder, that Euronymous murder. That month saw the release of the Mayhem album De Mysterious Dom Sathanas, which features Euronymous on guitar and Vikernes on bass guitar, or Varg. Euronymous' family had asked Mayhem's drummer Hellhammer to remove the bass tracks recorded by Varg, but Hellhammer said, "I thought it was appropriate that the murderer and victim were on the same record." Varg was released from prison in 2009. There's a strong rivalry between Norwegian black metal and Swedish death metal scenes. Fenris and Chort have noted that Norwegian black metal musicians have become fed up with the whole death metal scene, and that death metal was very uncool in Oslo.
Fucking losers.
A number of times, Euronymous sent death threats to some of the more, quote, mainstream death metal groups in Europe. Allegedly, a group of Norwegian black metal fans even plotted to kidnap and murder certain Swedish death metal musicians. There's also a rivalry between Norwegian and Finnish black metal bands.
Everyone's beefing with everybody.
Yeah. Impaled Nazarene which is a magazine, printed "No orders from Norway accepted," and "Kulema Norwich Kapul," which is "Death to the Assholes of Norway," on early pressings of their first album, and innuendo and snarky comments were made in all the fanzines. Berate's vocalist Nuclear Holocausto. This boy's his stage name is Nuclear Holocausto.
Worst magician ever.
I mean, just come the fuck on. Use the rivalry to play a series of telephone pranks on Mika Lutin of Impaled Nazarene, in which he would call him in the dead of the night playing nursery rhymes at high speed on a cassette recorder. At the time, Lutin maintained that the messages were threats from Norwegian black metalers. The Finnish band Black Crucifixion criticized the Norwegian band Dark Throne as trendies, which is a massive, massive insult to them, due to Dark Throne originally being a dead metal band who later played black metal.
So high school.
I was
Dude,
gonna say
it's
it
just
sounds like
nothing but
just
high
a
school.
bunch of pussies.
Yeah.
All of them. Like,
Yeah.
like,
No,
That's,
seriously.
that's what it is.
like, like I imagine myself being in high school. Like I'm in the marching band, and like I'm like seeing all these fuckers run around.
Yeah.
and just being angry and sad
Yeah.
and all like
Yeah.
huffy puffy
basically,
with one another.
You're on drumline.
Yeah.
And somebody that plays for the baseball team is mad at you because they don't get their own
No, not
marching
even like
band.
we're just it's like me and the baseball team are just like what's going on with the fucking scene kids. Like that's
Oh, sure.
yeah, like
Yeah, this is straight up trenchcoat mafia high school kids.
yeah.
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 No, 1,000%. And they just happened to like one of them committed suicide. One of them killed another guy. Another one killed another guy.
Yeah.
They burned like 50
What are you so mad about?
churches
Oh, your
down.
parents got divorced? Pff, whatever.
Right. And that's just, I guess the whole point of this episode is that some decent music came out of it, but like a whole bunch of shitty ass fucking seeny weeny kids pissed off at each other. Did some pretty horrific
You know what this is
shit,
giving me?
like
This is-
burning down
this
very
is like
old churches.
Chess
Which, again,
club and
it's not
anime
cool.
club are
Not
beefing,
okay?
and no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Do you hear the drama clubs taking pot shots at the anime kids? It's like, why?
Now, before we do our full-on wrap-up, Joseph's going to play us one last little snippet,
Oh, sure.
which is what black metal became. And he mentioned earlier this is a Polish band.
Yeah, so we're gonna hear some Behemoth, which is a Polish black metal band.
And Behemoth is fucking badass.
Behemoth
Seriously.
rocks,
They're really
actually.
good. If you guys, we're gonna, Joe and I are going to put together a little playlist, and we're gonna include that in the link on the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Just if you guys want to check out the music in full, see where it came from, see the shitty aspects of it, like Burzum, for example. Because Mayhem actually, they had a couple
Band still has some good stuff.
a
There's-
little bit of good stuff.
Yeah. And then there's we'll throw some stuff on that maybe we didn't talk about, just so
Yeah.
you can kind of get an idea of like a little bit of
The full spectrum
Yeah.
of this world.
Exactly.
What's
So
hang on, real quick. What's that band that Gaines likes a lot? Is that Behemoth?
He does like Behemoth. Yeah.
He was playing it last time we were all hanging out. Is that
Probably Opeth.
Opeth.
Or- Opeth is amazing, but that's
Opeth is
that's
really
prog.
good.
That's prog metal.
it's prog metal?
It's
Yeah.
like math and
Progressive metal is
you get some different time signatures and
yeah.
like they're trying to push the bar, I guess you could say.
of music.
Yeah.
Musicality.
Right.
Of musicianship.
Right.
It pulls a lot of aspects of classical music, the more technical aspects of classical music. But metal, in its origin, comes from classical music. A lot of the chord structures are very dark, very complex, and that's where these guys started pulling this shit from.
Which I think is one of the coolest things about metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's
As a musician, I deeply appreciate
Right.
metal in general.
it's opera. It's gothic.
It's the same.
1,000%.
Exactly.
Right.
Thematically, like
Yeah.
content wise, the way they present themselves, the way they play their music. I mean, like, and even like the vocal range, like
Yeah.
a lot of these guys that like do this growl
they're
talking,
incredible.
singing or
Yeah.
growl singing, everything from like shredcore to grindcore to like death metal, thrash metal, whatever, it is an impressive vocal range, like where
Yeah.
you would have an operatic
Right.
Yeah.
type
And
of
a lot of those guys
training.
can jump into an almost full voiced falsetto where they're hitting higher octaves.
Oh,
and
fucking
ranges that,
Listen
like-
to Anthrax.
Yes.
Was it Ian
Yeah.
Scott or something?
Ian
That guy
Scott.
can that guy could probably literally shatter glass with his voice if
Yeah.
he tried to.
But he
that?
could also go low and
Yeah.
deep and seriously.
Who's that one dude that's all over the internet that like will just take the microwave
The microwave.
take the microphone away and then he'll like belt something and like it's loud enough that you can hear it
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the back of a stadium. Dude, that
Yeah.
guy is nuts.
Yeah.
I forget what that guy's name is, but
I know
do.
who you're talking
It's like
about. I can't
guttural,
think of it.
dude.
Yeah.
It's-
yeah.
We'll put him on the playlist.
yeah.
So that bearing that in mind, this is a modern version of where black metal has kind of evolved into. This is Behemoth, Christians to the Lions. Oh, hold on. Oh, fuck me.
Internet.
Hold on, I got it. Hold on, I got it. I don't got it.
This is good podcasting right here.
Listen, man, you put me in charge of the technical aspects of stuff, and I don't know how this shit works. Hold on. I say when I just have to press play on Spotify. Here you go. Yep.
Which to me is
Opera.
exactly.
Yeah.
But also the closest to Death Clock.
Yes. Yeah.
And full circle back around, Metalocalypse is one of my favorite shows of all time because it is simultaneously as amazing as a lot of these hardcore Black Death, thrash, metal bands. It's a summation of all of them, but is simultaneously making fun of them.
Yes.
Because my biggest issue with a lot of those groups and a lot of that genre is they take themselves too seriously.
Way too seriously.
Exactly. And like some of my favorite bands ever. Like for real, this may be a hot take, but I love Foo Fighters.
Okay.
Like
Gross.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
No, check it out. Good songwriting, really good musicianship, but they have never taken themselves seriously. All of their videos, all of their like social media posts, they're just making fun of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
And Dave Grohl seems like a super cool guy.
Dave
Dude,
Grohl
he's
seems like
been
an
awesome,
awesome
since
guy.
he
Yeah.
Yeah.
joined Nirvana.
Yeah.
You know? And when Kurt killed himself, he wrote and recorded all the parts of the first Foo Fighter album by himself in
Yeah.
his mom's basement because he was depressed that his best friend and bandmate killed himself. Like, I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like, if you're good at something, be good at it, but also make fun of yourself. You know what I mean?
I saw an interview with him and basically saying just that, like all this stuff about, like music videos and being famous and all this stuff. He's like, none of that matters.
No.
Like find a bunch of people that you're really good at playing music with and just do that.
Yeah.
And, even if you don't make it, like you at least have that because that's what it's about.
Right.
It's about being able to be in sync with like 3 or 4 other dudes
Exactly.
and putting out art.
Yeah, and look, I love this podcast,
Mhm.
and we're growing. We're doing pretty well. We may get to a point where we actually make proper money.
It'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
But that's up to you guys.
That's exactly.
Speaking of which, we got a Patreon.
We do got a Patreon.
Well, you have a Patreon.
But honestly, I don't care because I really enjoy this time with y'all.
Don't tell them that.
You know what I mean?
You fool.
Sorry, I care so much. Give us a lot of money.
Give us a
Right
lot
now.
of money. We're in it for the love of the game. Give us money.
I want to say like we should start taking ourselves like way too seriously.
Yeah.
That's the death rattle of our podcast. You heard it here first, folks. The first signs of our inevitable demise.
Thanks for killing it, Jamie.
I told you I wanted to like kill myself, and then you guys use like my brain as a stew, take pictures. It's bound to work.
But then we'll be off and we won't have a fourth.
I'm sure I can be replaced.
We need.
We tried having 3. It did not work.
Yeah, we need our Leonardo.
That's right.
We can do it. I even have my replacement lined up.
Who?
I got Grant.
Grant's already on the podcast.
No, Grant.
Yeah,
I
I'm
told
right here right
Grant
now.
my replacement if everything goes belly up. McThrill, remember?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is McThrill?
I love McThrill.
Who is McThrill?
It's a good friend of mine. He's not your vibe.
You don't think so?
No.
Hey, you know what is
He'd
your
be
vibe?
wonderful as a guest. We should pull him on as a guest for sure.
You know what is your vibe and everybody's vibe here? Corsair frickin' gin.
Oh, shit.
Oh, another catalyst. if
Another
you will.
catalyst. Welcome to Murder Schmurder, everybody.
Where we definitely know what the word catalyst means. Meow.
No, yeah. Just a reminder to everybody listening, we are sponsored by Corsair
The most
Distillery, the most
gin that you can
delicious
find in all the world.
gin, barrel-aged gin, spiced rum, dark rye,
Hey, baby, that barrel-aged gin.
American.
Seriously, I swear by it.
Yeah.
Still waiting on my bottle.
Hey, man, it's probably in my car right now.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, well, let's stop this podcast down right now and go raid fucking Austin's car.
That sounds awesome.
All right, let's do
But
it.
first, please email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com.
And I know it sounds like we don't want you to email us at gmail.com, but we do want you to email
Like
don't
real.
email trashville@gmail.com.
Also, all them 5 stars, especially on Apple, because that means a big deal.
Do not email us if you have the intent to send sand.
I want
Yeah,
you to say,
fuckers.
That's
I
true.
want
Actually,
our
send
next-
more sand. I need to keep leveling.
Okay,
my yard.
send
Yeah.
some sand.
Okay, so now Grant likes the sand. All right. All
Sand-
right.
I don't like it aggressively presented to me, but if you're like, hey, here's a bunch of sand to level your yard,
Look,
I'm fine with
send
that.
us sand with $100 bills in the sand.
Or send us bags of sand. What one of them's actually a bag of drugs.
With money in the drug.
Sure.
What is sand in the drug world?
It's got to be something.
I mean, hell, I guess drugs.
Lisa Al-Gaib.
I guess.
It's just spice.
Oh, spice.
Yeah, it's just spice.
Oh, dude, if somebody sends us spice,
If you send us spice,
You're talking
That'd be
about like
pretty
from
fucking tight.
Dune?
yeah, dude.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I like them blue eyes.
More importantly,
What's more important than blue eyes, Jamie?
what I want is
Yeah,
I want
seriously.
a listener to send us a problem for us to fix.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Okay,
If you've
seriously.
got like a personal problem, or if you've
Yeah.
got
the higher stakes, the better.
yes,
Because we can handle it.
we can keep your name anonymous. You can say who it is. It's whatever you want. But if, like, let's say you have a marriage problem that needs to get fixed, Murder Schmurder is here to help.
That's right.
You know where you
Can't
can.
afford therapy? Murder Schmurder is here to
Yes.
help.
You know what's cheaper than therapy? Subscribing to our Patreon, where we'll talk to you all goddamn day if you want.
$10.
Can I get that one more time?
$10.
You're facing some legal issues. You're not sure if a mole is irregular or not. You know, send us pics.
You got
We'll
a
take
crazy
look.
ex-girlfriend. I can relate.
We can.
Yeah.
We all have exes that we have had to navigate creatively through some problems, and we'll help you.
your stepsister's been texting you a little too much.
Oh, we'll help you with that too.
You got a little too drunk and smashed your car into a cop car. We've got the experience.
Yeah.
Personal experience.
We won't say who.
You almost passed a field sobriety test, and then they breathalyzed you and realized that you were over double. We got you there too.
We-
You accidentally called the cops on yourself about how suicidal you were on your birthday, and then you got locked up in a facility. We got you too.
You accidentally get your girlfriend pregnant.
we've
Show up
to
to
Atlanta.
3 states.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, depending on which state you live in, we'll keep the correspondence private.
You ever have to drive to what was it?
We went to-
Iowa?
No, we went to Atlanta and then we had to go to
Was it
Idaho?
Illinois?
Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went to
Illinois. It was one of those eyes.
Yeah.
It was one of those eye states.
Ooh, That was time.
It was a time.
Yeah, that was.
We've
yeah.
all had some times, friends.
What we're trying to convey is we fucked up, so you don't have to.
So email us at don't email trashville@gmail.com.
Don't not email us.
Yeah.
All right?
Please do.
Well, now I'm confused. Well,
What's confusing? Don't not email us at don't email.
yes.
Yes.
.com.
Words. Internet.
Thank
Well,
you so much for joining
Yeah.
us.
Check us on the socials. Like, rate, review, subscribe.
Speaking of socials, we're at Trashville_USA on Instagram,
TikTok.
And we got a live show coming up, baby.
Yeah, we
That's
got a live
right.
show in December. We're doing it.
Hi, Julie here. Just jumping in because Jamie, well, it seems he doesn't even know the show details, and I think it's important information to get correct. You know, like people got to make plans, buy tickets, logistics, anyways. Fuck God. No, it's fine. I got it. I'm cool. The show is Friday, December 7th, at Third Coast Comedy Club, Nashville. It starts at 7:30 p.m. You will go to the show at Third Coast Comedy Club, Nashville on December 7th at 7:30 p.m. You will buy tickets ahead of time because their other shows have sold out. You will be prepared. So, follow the links, get the tickets, and come meet the heathens themselves. Till next time, listener.
Oh, you got Third Coast on it.
We got Third Coast.
Okay.
Hopefully next year we're gonna do Dark Horse Theater in Nashville with
That'd be fun.
Grant and I are thinking about working on a musical with our. Is Jules our engineer or editor? What's the reference? Engineer Jules. We're gonna be putting together a wonderful number for all
That's
to
true.
enjoy.
A Trashville musical?
Wow.
Yeah.
People,
This
we're
could be fun.
going places.
You can come along if you want, but this train's leaving the station. This is one of your conductors, Joseph, saying, thanks for listening.
And this is Austin the Caboose.
I wanted to be the caboose.
This is Jamie. You're the ticket guy who's asking like if you got a ticket, but I'm not really good at my job and I forgot to ask. So I have to ask you like mid trip, like, do you have it? Please tell me you have it. My boss is gonna be real mad if you don't have
Look,
it.
I really need this job.
And
Sorry.
this is Grant, the one that kind of purposefully showed up late to the train leaving. And he pretended to run after the train just long enough to the person he wanted to break up with, looking out the window, being like, oh, well, I guess he tried. And then he disappeared forever.
I said all aboard.
Just gesturing to your watch. Traffic. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't care anymore.
She's gone.
Half jogged. Oh, I missed you. Sorry, whatever. Yeah.
From all of us, thank you and have a great.
Austin, the
fucking
conductor,
day.
is like trying to hit on your girlfriend. Or
He
ex.
is, and it's working.
Oh, it's clear to my eyes.
Yeah, he's taking her to the bar car.
Oh, you look upset. Probably. Have you ever driven a train before?
Well, you know what we call it up there? Also the cockpit.
Let me take a peek at your caboosey.
Y'all have a good night.
Jamie, what's wrong? You haven't finished your
Yeah,
warhead
you haven't finished your
soda.
Warhead apple soda that's now super flat.
All right, let's
More
all
for
give
me.
him a toot toot bye. 1, 2, 3.
Toot toot bye.
Like what you hear? Subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Trashville_USA. And if there's a true crime story you want the gang to cover, email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com. Murder Schmurder is produced by Jamie. Our tracking engineer is Grant. And our mix and mastering engineer is Julie. Incidental music and our theme song is provided by Jules. This has been another production of